It was one of the most hyped draft classes in recent history. Led by Duke powerhouse Zion Williamson, the 2019 draft included names that today have taken the league by storm. From your Ja Morants to your Tyler heroes, the talent that year was phenomenal and has helped shape today's game enormously. But there's another thing the 2019 draft class is remembered for: controversy, and lots of it. NBA stars are definitely no strangers to getting themselves into trouble, but there's something about this year's Hoopers that just seems to do it better than anyone else. Charges of domestic abuse, getting blackmailed by an adult performer, baby mama drama. This draft class has it all. So without further ado, let's take a look at what makes 2019 the most savage draft class in the NBA. Coming out of Texas, Jaxson was one of the more exciting prospects to be drafted into the league back in 2019. Selected 8th overall by the Hawks, but immediately traded to the Pelicans, Hayes had that combination of height, skill, and shot accuracy that would hopefully make him into a formidable small forward in the years to come. It also helped that Hayes' pedigree was unmatched. The son of former NFL player Jonathan Hayes and college basketball superstar Christy Hayes, Jaxson got off to a flying start, dropping 19 points on 8 of 11 shooting in a loss to the Warriors. But the Pelicans struggled to give Hayes consistent playing time, and despite his flashes of brilliance or impressive athletic feats, Hayes remained an off-the-bench kind of guy. In 2021, an off-court incident got everyone talking about the youngster, just not for the right reasons. In the early hours of July 28, 2021, Los Angeles police were called to Jaxson Hayes' home in response to a domestic disturbance call made by Hayes' girlfriend. Police raided the property, and body cam footage shows the 22-year-old Hooper scuffling with officers outside the home before being hit twice by electric stun guns after they ordered him to leave the property. Things got so bad that Hayes had to be restrained, which led one of the officers to using his knee to pin down the NBA star's neck, resulting in Hayes audibly shouting, "I can't breathe." The 8th overall pick was treated at a local hospital for his injuries. The New Orleans center pleaded no contest to misdemeanor counts of false imprisonment, domestic battery, and assaulting an officer. He got sentenced to 3 years probation, 450 hours of community service, and a year of weekly domestic violence classes. While Hayes was ultimately in the wrong, the body cam footage ignited questions about whether or not excessive force was used during the arrest. The LAPD announced that a full investigation into the matter would take place. 2 years later, and we still haven't heard any update. But while Jaxson Hayes' actions led to serious criminal charges, the next player on this list got himself into a position that is all too familiar for the rich and famous. The 13th pick overall, PJ Washington got himself baby-trapped. Let me explain. Washington is perhaps best known for his high-profile relationship with IG model Brittany Renner. The pair started their relationship while PJ was in college, balling out for Kentucky. The then 26-year-old Renner was a common sight courtside at the 19-year-old's games, and the pair remained together well after PJ was drafted into the league. But shortly after the birth of their daughter in 2021, things changed, and not for the better. PJ dropped a cryptic tweet saying, "You were faking it all along," which fans speculated was referring to his girlfriend. Something had happened behind the scenes, and the two were no longer dating. But it's Renner's actions after the pair split that made PJ into a walking meme. Renner chose to air out the pair's dirty laundry, appearing on podcasts and interviews and revealing intimate details about their relationship. The model plays a voice memo she sent to her NBA partner after she saw his tweet, and honestly, well, we'll just play it.
I was very toxic.
I will air this the house. Delete the tweet. You are a psycho past liar hypocrite. Delete the tweet or I will drag you.
In that same interview, Renner unapologetically joked about her toxic behavior towards Washington, which sparked a wider debate about the young Hooper being taken advantage of by the more mature Renner. But so far, this was just a couple going through a bitter breakup. It wasn't until news broke of the alleged child support payments PJ would have to pay that things got ugly. $200,000 a month to this baby mama for the next 18 years. Despite both Renner and Washington denying the rumor, the story still made national headlines and brought PJ more attention than he'd ever gotten just for playing basketball. Renner was in a similar spot, but the increased eyes did more harm than good. The model was criticized for her actions and accused of baby-trapping the NBA athlete. A look back at her personal life revealed a laundry list of flings with rappers and athletes, while her book, Judge This Cover, featured a similar pattern of manipulative relationships that existed only to serve Britney. Things got even worse for her when an old clip of her talking about that exact thing came to light. While the NBA power forward isn't completely blameless in this situation, it's hard not to feel sorry for the guy, especially if this was all some elaborate trick to secure the bag. But the next 2019 draft night star who found himself in some serious hot water really has no one but himself to blame. Of course, I'm talking about Ja Morant. The number 2 pick was the breakout talent from that year's draft class and quickly became the Grizzlies' franchise player as well as the new face of the NBA. But while his game was improving and his team was starting to be contenders for a championship, Ja threatened to throw it all away. Starting in 2023, Ja was at the center of a series of rapidly escalating incidents that got a lot of people in the league worried. The first was the red laser incident against Indiana. Ja and Pacers player Chris Duarte got chippy with each other during the fourth quarter, but Ja's longtime friend Devonte Pack soon got involved. Despite being a spectator, he apparently made threats at the Pacers bench, and before long, the situation had spiraled out of control. Pack even had to be escorted out of the Grizzlies arena following the altercation. Things went a step further when a red laser was pointed at the Pacers bus from someone inside an SUV that Ja himself was sitting in. A few weeks later, news broke of 2 separate incidents that took place in the summer involving the NBA superstar. Ja was being accused of assaulting a 17-year-old kid over a disagreement during a pickup game. After punching the teenager, Morant reportedly went back inside his home and came back out waving a gun. Morant claimed self-defense, arguing that the kid had threatened to come back and harm his family. The kid filed a police report against Morant, but eventually chose not to press charges. Another incident just a few days prior involved Morant and a Memphis security guard. An altercation between Ja's mom and a store employee resulted in Ja being called to the mall and turning up with 9 of his friends. Things got heated, and it's reported that the group of guys threatened and shoved the security guard, verbally abusing him and harassing him after his shift. The guard also filed a police report, but no arrests were made. By now, Ja had built himself a reputation in the league as something of a wannabe tough guy, but it's what he did next that got him in the most trouble. March 14, 2023, after a game against the Denver Nuggets, Ja, who was out at a strip club celebrating, decided to go live on his Instagram and flash a gun. The reaction around the league was unsupportive to say the least. He immediately issued an apology, but it was too late. He was issued an 8-game suspension for violating the NBA's player conduct policy. You'd think after league-wide disapproval for your actions, following a press tour which involved interviews with ESPN, apologizing for your behavior, and almost costing the season for your team would make you think twice. But no, not for Ja, because just a few weeks later, after the Grizzlies had been knocked out of the playoffs, Ja was again spotted on IG Live waving a gun around. The league was way harsher this time around, and Ja was suspended for 25 games, a sentence he'll have to wait to serve till the start of next season. Another player familiar with missing NBA games is the first overall pick of the 2019 draft class, Zion Williamson. Where do we start with Zion, man? This guy was one of the most hyped prospects since LeBron James. He looked NBA ready in high school, and in just 1 season with Duke, he became a Blue Devil legend worthy of the first overall spot. But recently, like so many of the players on this list, Zion is better known for his controversies than any actual basketball. Zion Williamson found himself in a sticky situation involving a high-profile adult entertainer. You see, in the summer of 2023, the NOLA phenom announced that he and his girlfriend were expecting their first child together. What was supposed to be a sweet moment quickly turned sour as adult performer Mariah Mills took to Twitter that Zion was cheating on his partner. Things got even worse for the NBA talent when news broke that Zion had also impregnated a stripper. Honestly, this is messy. Mills made multiple tweets outing her and Zion's relationship, apparently jealous that he'd given a random stripper a baby and not her. Leaked texts, bank statements, and more all made it impossible for Zion to ignore. But the adult entertainer wasn't done there. She has since threatened to reveal more intimate details about their shared life together, going as far as to mention a sex tape between her and Zion. We're hoping the off-court drama doesn't translate to his game, but considering the fact that Zion has struggled to remain healthy enough to play, we don't think the added stress is going to help him out. If you want a more in-depth look into what happened to Zion Williamson, check out our video on the Duke Phenom right here on Hoop Central. For the 2019 draft class, it seems that drama was part of the deal when it came to making the NBA. The fame, money, and lifestyle make it hard to stay squeaky clean, something the players on this list can attest to. But we gotta hope that with the help of those around them, they can tighten up and get back to doing what they love best.